and there was a less than 5% chance of a CC having its optimum race distance of 10 furlongs. So as a handicapping tool, they've got a significantly lower chance of staying that distance than, say, a CT or a TT.
So I think the question is, for those of you who didn't hear, will it contribute to unsoundness in horses, everybody breeding CC horses? I think well, there's a relatively large population of or proportion of the population that are CC horses. And I think that it really, the unsoundness issue, no, I don't think so, because I think that if you know the genetic type of your horse, you're going to manage it in the way that's going to be best suited for that individual. I don't think that genetics is necessarily going to push dramatically the increase of CCs. The market or the race pattern is going to affect that. So if the race pattern is designed so that there are more races or more valuable races for those types of horses, then those types of horses are going to be produced. My suggestion would be that it's incumbent on the committees who set the race patterns to provide more diversity in the race pattern, so that there's a more, I suppose, targets for other types of horses. And I think that that's very important to note, that it's not the genetics that necessarily will shift the goalposts in one direction. It's the marketplace for breeders, and it's the race pattern. So to go back to the unsoundness, no, I think that there are a lot of there are genetic factors that contribute to unsoundness. Do I think that it's because CC, CTs, or TTs? Probably not. Yes, they're more probably more exposed to high intensity training at those distances. But I think with the information, if you have the genetic information, then you can manage individuals in a way that is better for them and healthier for the entire population.
Any other questions? No? Thank you very much for having us here today. Thanks to Joe and Pat and everybody else behind the scenes that put together such a great evening. I suppose we'll be outside. We've got a table over there beside the canteen. If anybody has any further questions, myself and Mike and Emily will be posted there. You can pop up to us. We've got a few little bits and bobs there for you as well to pick up on your way. A few brochures there if you want to find out anything else on our racing gene pack or any of our other tests. But thank you very much, guys, for having us.
Thank you, Dr. Hill. Michael, we appreciate that. It's been a long afternoon. We've learned a lot, and everybody's been really focused and attentive, and we appreciate that. So now it's time to take it easy and relax and move on over to the Limestone Cafe for some drinks and some food, and take about an hour to relax, and then we'll head back in for our highlight event of the evening with Mr. Wayne Lukas. So everybody go have a drink and something to eat, and we'll catch you back in a little while. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone got plenty to eat. And after a long afternoon of learning and paying attention, let's have a little fun. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Frank Miramati, who's going to host our our event of the evening. And I'll let Frank take it from here. Frank?
You could just call me Chubby Wayne, and that'll do just fine. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's about time we finally acknowledge the greatest trainer to ever grace this game. How about D. Wayne Lukas, ladies and gentlemen? we started something years ago, and it's referred to frequently as the program. And a lot of people have asked us, what is the program exactly? We've got a list of amazing horsemen that have followed our footsteps. And what these guys were able to understand is that we're trying to develop champions and that this is a business. And, you know, all you people in the media, and I hope there are very few of you in here today, you've been taking shots at us for the last 35 years. I can tell you that I've forgotten more about horse racing than you people will ever know, and it's very simple. Let me tell you that the D in Dwayne Lukas stands for Derby, and you people know that. But forget about all of that stuff for a moment. I just want to take a moment to talk about a subject I usually don't spend a whole lot of time on. Me. The list of accomplishments for Team Lukas, and I'm so proud of these guys who have done such a terrific job. I think Todd Pletcher's spending more on suits than I am now. It's amazing. Is that we developed something that was special. And whether it was the Stormcats for Overbrook Farm or the Storm and a Halves today in Arkansas, let me tell you this much. It's about pure horsemanship. It's about leading these horses over and letting these athletes do what they love to do. Look, all these people in the media talking to us when we brought Azeri back, oh, look what he's doing to us again. And all we did with those people with the pencils and the papers, the same people that picked Sarita's song when Thunder Gulch galloped home, all those experts are left scratching their heads. At the end of the day, they're the people asking the questions and we're giving them the answers. Is that not right, Mr. Lukas? When I sit back and I think about some of the moments that we've had, and there are just so many. Look, it's not about, I want to say this real quick. It's not about the Breeders' Cups. Yeah, we developed a program in 1984 and said, look, we're going to go in there and teach these people a lesson and scoop it up. It's not about the derbies, the records, the winning the Triple Crown with 3 different horses. That's not what it's all about. It's all about the capital, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make this crystal clear. And I'll tell you what, where's Kieran? I'll tell you what, Kieran, I'm proud of you about one big thing. You did what I could never do. I tried every imaginable thing to get that Godolphin Blue over on us, and we just couldn't do it, Kieran. I'm proud of you for that. And you rest assured, the only reason you did that is because you learned from the master. You had a hell of a day this weekend. Good job, my man. Kieran McLaughlin. I'm going to just take you back down memory lane for a few of the great moments that we had. A filly that I miss every single day when I walk in. By the way, when you people, all you experts are out there sleeping, we're at our barn at 3 a.m. We're doing what you people wouldn't know, and that's hard work. So when we unleash Cape Canaveral with the blinkers, and you wonder whether we put the blinkers on him that day because he can't run or because he's so fast, that's for you to figure out. But Landaluce is a filly that's so near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to take you back to her romp with the great Harry Henson. Into the stretch, it's Landaluce in front by 4 lengths. Princess Larula is second on the inside by a hit, and Barzell. Landaluce drawing out by 10 lengths. Landaluce by 15 lengths, and Landaluce is the winner by 21 lengths. How about Landaluce, ladies and gentlemen? Look, we've turned some billionaires into millionaires. You know that way, and it's happened a couple of times. And you know, we were this close. We were this close to having the San Diego Chargers turned over to our program. But let me tell you this. Look, this game will cost you some dollars. You can go ask Eugene Klein up in heaven what it cost him. But let me tell you this. This is what you people don't understand. Yeah, we spent $5 million for the Padua stables to break a maiden at Keeneland, but they got the picture they were looking for. And those guys that were fog-citied out, they were in a fog, so that was their problem, not ours. But the people who came to us and understood that we've got eyes that cannot be matched and that we will find you the champion, we'll develop the champion, and not only develop the champion, but we'll develop champions to come. A topic that I get every single day is, what about Bob Baffert? Well, let me tell you about Bob Baffert. He's a great horseman. No, he's a good horseman. He's great. Let's see. He was in the quarter horse business after us. He put a cowboy hat on after us, and he put the sunglasses with a little bit of white hair. And then he took our owners, like the Thoroughbred Corp, may the prince rest in peace. And before American Pharaoh with Ahmed Zayed, and I tell you what, he should have given that thing to the guy who deserved it, but that's okay. We got Mr. Z, and we made him a few bucks with Mr. Z when it was all said and done. What? This is Ahmed Zayed. What are you talking about? What are you trying to say? I come to you, Dwayne. I pay my bills a little late, but who cares? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. Yes, he taught Justin everything. He took my Justin and taught him about the horse. Thank you for that. But let me make one thing clear. My name is Ahmed Zayed. I don't work for you. You work for me. Anyway, this topic of Bob Baffert's been like a needle in my side, and let me just make this clear. Before American Pharaoh, everyone said his best horse was Point Given. Would anyone disagree that before this, oh, Point Given should have won the Triple Crown? Is that correct, yes or no? Do you know who the sire of Point Given was? His name was Thunder Gulch. Do you know who Thunder Gulch's sire was? Drop the Thunder, his name was Gulch. Remember that boy? And the owner was the Thoroughbred Corporation. So as far as we're concerned, Point Given was us, wasn't it, Mr. Lukas? And Bob came in as a guest appearance, and because of that, he couldn't get the Derby. That was bad karma. Winning colors. We talked about Eugene Klein. If you think he wants to watch Dan Fouts throw up a bomb so his defense could give up 30 points, or he wants to watch that filly go wire to wire in the Kentucky Derby, what do you think the case was? It all started in California. Let's go to Trevor Denman. 5/16 to go now in winning colors. Gary Stevens hasn't moved yet. Lively One's under pressure. Me Preferito can find no more. There's an eighth of a mile to go. And winning colors, what a magnificent filly she is as she carries the hopes of California all the way to the Kentucky Derby. Winning colors romps home in the Santa Anita Derby. And then we took her to Kentucky. She had a big behind and she could run, couldn't she? And down the stretch they come, winning colors, just like Dwayne Lukas told us, in front by 2. Here comes the champion 49er on the outside. But it's winning colors in front to win the Kentucky Derby for the greatest horseman we've ever seen, Dwayne Lukas. But I think when I think about Bob Baffert, I'll tell you the thing I really like to remember. They're in the final furlong on the outside. Cavalier, it's Grindstone is gaining ground. They're nearing the wire. Grindstone teaches Bob a lesson. He'll never catch us in the Derby Triple Crown category. Grindstone wins it by a lip. And then they say, well, wait a minute, Wayne, you didn't show diversity. You could never get us a turf horse. Let's go to Phil Georgieff. Here they come spinning out of the turn, and Steinlen, he wins the Arlington Million. Steinlen, one of the greatest ever. It's Steinlen in front. Pedigree. I told you about pedigree. How many people here love Bernardini? Raise your hand if you think Bernardini's a terrific sire. Guess who produced Bernardini? A nice little girl named Cara Raffaella. We did a good job with her, didn't we, Wayne? So ultimately, this game is about us. It's the truth. He won't say it because he doesn't need to, because he taught his team of trainers. And Ron Moquette is here. I don't know what you're doing here. I know you've been kissing his ass in Arkansas. I don't know how you got this guest appearance, but you're doing a good job, young man. But you're not quite what you needed to do. You know, hey. This is a little interesting. I got the inquiry sign on that, but it's okay, Ron. We have a program. And what I'm here to tell you people, look, we took a hillbilly from Arkansas and put him on the biggest stage in North America. I haven't seen him in the winner's circle in a while. I wonder why. Hey, we're taking shots. That's what we do. Because he won't do it. He's too classy to do that. I'm here to tell you this. If you'd like to get to the next level, come see me and break out your checkbook in a little while tonight, all right? We'll be outside. All right. At this time, I'd like to introduce the proteges, the team, the assembly of greatness that we have brought with us, one by one. Mr. Hennig in the house? Come on up, Mark. Please, have a seat, a panel up here. George Weaver, you learned what these jockeys will do to you over the weekend with that maiden race over there on the turf. That was fun, wasn't it? George Weaver, have a seat, please. If I could have just weighed $110, what I could have done with these horses. Karen McLaughlin, you're doing a fine job. Come on up, sir. Ron, if you want to be my assistant, come on up and have a seat, please. Ron Moquette, ladies and gentlemen. Learn how to pronounce his name, too. There's no Moquette, it's Moquette. What about my man Dallas Stewart with the Diamond Man, Mr. Fipke? Good job, Mr. Stewart. Todd A. Pletcher, are you in the house? Oh, yes, he is. He's pretty recognizable. Good to see you, my man. Who am I missing on this panel? Where's Mike Maker? I mean, he won't give me one of these kitten's joys to save my life. Get up here, Mike. We got everyone up here? G.D. Hieronymus, a man who has done a phenomenal job here at Keeneland for so long. He'll be retiring soon, but before he does, just kidding, he's put together an amazing video for us to honor the great horseman, D. Wayne Lukas. Let's watch.
From basketball coach to Hall of Fame horse trainer, the course Wayne Lukas charted was certainly unconventional. But then Lukas has always worked best outside the box anyone wanted to put him in. As comfortable as a cowboy on the back of his horse early each morning, Lukas could easily transform himself into a corporate titan who oversaw a coast-to-coast racing operation unlike the sport had ever seen. D. Wayne off the plane became a trendy catchphrase in the 1980s when Lukas regularly shipped his horses from one part of the country to the other to win major races. And he courted strategic alliances with owners who dreamed as big as he did, like Eugene Klein, Bob Lewis, and William T. Young, with many of their champions coming out of this Keeneland sales ring, like Timber Country, Orientate, and Winning Colors.
Here comes the 49er on the outside. Lukas and Stevens. It's a fighting race. Winning Colors by a head.
Only 2 fillies had ever won the Kentucky Derby when Lukas saddled her to take the roses for Klein in 1988. That was the first of 4 Derby wins for Lukas over the next 11 years. Lukas first emerged on the radar of the racing public in the 1980 Preakness, upsetting fan favorite Genuine Risk with Codex. In 2013, when Calumet Farms Oxbow scored another Preakness upset, it gave Lukas his 6th win in that classic. And it marked a 14th victory in a Triple Crown race, breaking the record held by Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons. Between the 94 Preakness with Tabasco Cat and the 96 Derby with Grindstone, Lukas won 6 consecutive Triple Crown races. And in 95, Lukas again broke the mold when he swept the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont with 2 different horses, as Thunder Gulch won the first and third legs, while Timber Country prevailed in the Preakness. It was no surprise that Lukas embraced the Breeders' Cup program and quickly seized opportunities for more success on one of racing's biggest stages. In 1985, Twilight Ridge gave Lukas his first Breeders' Cup win and the first of 6 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies division.
Here's the wire. Twilight Ridge has won it.
Cat Thief gave Lukas a Breeders' Cup Classic victory in 1999, and Lukas has at least 1 victory in each of the 7 categories featured in the original Breeders' Cup format. In 2014, Take Charge Brandy gave a then 79-year-old Lukas his 20th win in a Breeders' Cup race, 6 more than his closest challenger. From 1983 through 92, Lukas led American trainers in earnings every year. He won the Eclipse Award as Outstanding Trainer 4 times, and in 1999, he was elected to the National Museum of Racing Hall of Fame. The Lukas barn is always easy to spot on the backside of any racetrack in the country. From the hanging baskets of flowers to the immaculate landscaping, the groundskeepers at Augusta National would feel right at home in the Lukas stable. The upkeep has always been a hallmark of Lukas's laser-focused program, through which he has developed a coaching tree of similarly successful training protégés. Lukas once described his daily conversations with those talented apprentices as 5 minutes of democracy when they have an opportunity to express themselves before the dictator takes over. But their success pays tribute to the coaching they received from Lukas, who is still trying to beat them on the racetrack day in and day out. In 1957, Bold Ruler's Preakness made the aforementioned Fitzsimmons the oldest trainer to win a Triple Crown race at age 82. But Wayne Lukas, at 81, is still going strong and still has his sights on setting more records.
I just got to say that, in the 80s, I was in high school, and as a Southern California native, went out to the races all the time. And to be able to watch some of those great memories of Mr. Lukas's horses and the leadership, the class, and just the excellence that has been displayed over so many years. I just want to share my favorite training job of his, and this panel is going to have a chance to do theirs. But without a doubt, to me, his work with Farm Away was unbelievable. He took over Farm Away from another barn, ran into a horse named Frost Free, who was a very solid sprinter at Santa Anita for John Sadler. He was very, very much on the top of his game. They met in the San Carlos, and Farm Away taught him a lesson. I remember watching that race from like the 3/16 pole, and he taught him a lesson that wouldn't be forgotten. And then he stretched him out. He took care of horses like Flying Continental, Quiet American, and then in the big cap, Trevor Denman, who's a very conservative caller when it comes to his race calls, and my favorite ever, of course, gave him the tribute that he deserved when he said, "And here's a salute to D. Wayne Lukas as Farm Away has won the big cap." He swept the entire series from 7 furlongs all the way around until he made the mile and a quarter, and that was just an amazing training job. He's an amazing man. There's an old philosophy: winners win, losers lose. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's welcome D. Wayne Lukas up to sit with his team. I wanted to mention that Enviro Equine arranged through Frank Lyons made the call and just basically told me I better get my rear end over here. And I'll tell you what, I'm not doing a whole lot of traveling these days, but when it comes an opportunity to be at Keeneland and be with this legend and his team, you better believe I'm more than happy to have come here, and thank you to Enviro Equine for making that happen. Before we get our microphone, there were a few people that could not be here, and we're going to roll a little video as they say hello to Mr. Lukas.
Hi, Wayne. In case you don't recognize me, it's Gary Stevens. These are the silks that I wore on Oxbow, one of those classics, of multiple classics I won for you. I know you're getting up there in age and stuff, and a little difficult for you to remember things, but I figured these silks might bring back some memories. But no, on an honest note, Wayne, you've done so much for the sport, and congratulations on this honor. Wish I was there with you, but enjoy the night, boss.
I've known Wayne Lukas for almost 40 years, And he's probably the most competitive, professional, no-nonsense guy that I've ever known. So it's really hard to say anything negative about the guy. But I can say one thing. Every pretty girl that he's taken to dinner, he seems like he has to propose to them.
Wayne, it's so great that everyone is gathering tonight to celebrate your illustrious career, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. They asked us to share a few memories, and one of my all-time favorites was with Exchange Rate. And remember, I didn't think I had him ready to run, and you came into town, you were looking through the condition book, and you found a race, and you said, Randy, here's a race for Exchange Rate. And I said, Wayne, he's 3 or 4 works short and not quite ready, and besides that, it's on the grass and it's down the hill. And you looked at me and said, ah, hell, Randy, he said, horses don't get tired running downhill. You won by 3 lengths that day, Wayne. You were so right, as you were with so many things in my life and my career. And I want to thank you for that. Some of my other memories that were great were the Arcadia Donut Shop. I'd meet you there at 3 o'clock in the morning. We'd have coffee and donuts, and you'd tell stories about your quarter horse days and how rough it was to get started. And those are some of the fondest memories I have, those stories, and they're branded in my heart. And it's been such a wild ride, and I want to thank you so much for everything. And I love you, Wayne. Have a great night.
All right, we've got a little free-for-all, guys. You just start telling some stories, taking some shots, and going down memory lane.
I know you've never met a microphone you don't like. Here, you can hold on to this. No, he's been my mentor and my